Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes in the Shed. Right, been doing a little bit off camera. Sit rep. Where to start? Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you what I've done so far. Okay, so there's the poor old bike. Not a lot left of it at the moment. It's just sitting there. So can't really take the front end out because the back end's out, and it's kind of precariously propped up on the stand, and I'm using the side stand to hold it up. So the side stand needs to come off because it's bolted to the foot pegs and stuff, so I can't really do that. What I want to do is put the back wheel in before I can do all that bit. So I think I'm at a point where I can do the swinging arm suspension, center stand, that kind of stuff. Right, so let me show you on the bench cam. Right, there's the swinging arm, all painted. New swinging arm spindle, new swinging arm bushes, new center bushes. There's the bit off the front of the engine with the bolts all cleaned up. That's ready to go back on. What else have we got? We've also got squeezing through my garage, stuff everywhere. We've got the back wheel there, back wheel tyres off it. That's been painted and is drying. Center stand is there and is drying. Center stand spring is there. Brake actuator rod, brake stay is there. We've also got, let's move this stuff out of the way, we've got a brand new rear sprocket, the chain adjuster all painted up. We've also got us all cleaned up. We've got the new painted brake plate, which isn't as glossy as I thought it would be, but it's alright, it's painted. Brake arm, indicator, chain adjuster, rubbers, so that's everything for the back wheel for there. There's all motorbikes in the way and stuff, but I think I'm ready to put the bushes in the swinging arm and get that ready to go back on, and then the shocks for that are on the floor down there. So I think we're going to do the bushes for this, get that bolted. Actually, I think I might bolt that back on first, get it out of the way off the bench. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm just sitting here thinking how lovely it looks when you look at something you've rebuilt and a little bit of copper slip squishes out the side, because you know someone has done a nice job when there's a bit of copper slips squishing out slides. It's hard to slide. Lovely job. Right then, now back on the workbench. So we've got to get the black bushes in there, which will take a little bit of hammering. Then the metal bushes inside that, and then everything greased up, and then the spindle through and everything. So yeah, I think I'm going to put all that together now and try and drop it on the bike. So here's the thing. The thing is, I'll put it all in, right? Spindles in. I'll put that in dry for now. Shocks are on, so it's all there in place. But what I've got to do is these caps. These caps go either end of there to protect the plastic bushes. All right, so I need to clean those up. I'd forgotten all about those, to be honest. So So I need to clean those up and put those on. And the other thing I've forgotten as well is that this bad boy, right, that I was thinking about junking, that goes on first before the bolt goes in, because it's not a bolt with a thread on both ends, it's a bolt that goes through everything in one go. So I've got to put this on, then that cup on, then through it all, then do the same on the other side. And what I don't want to do is put this on dirty. I'm going to paint it first, so can't quite finish that yet, so I'm going to leave that dry fit for now. I thought I'll leave that dry fit, and then I could put the back wheel in, and with the back wheel in, then I could take the front wheel out or do the stand or whatever it is I want to do next. Can't do that because I can't put the tyre on the rim yet because the paint's wet. So I think I'm going to put the centre stand on next. That gets me one step closer. I'll do that now. Wobbly mobile cam. So the centre stand is now in, which is nice. It's got the spring on it and everything. The shaft for it is all nicely greased up. Now what I could do now, I could put the brake back on. So the brake, let me reach for it. The brake goes on to here like that, and that's where the back brake sits, right? But if I put that on, that will obscure my route to the bolts there to take the foot pegs off, so that's not going back on yet, so that can stay off. Swing arm is on, nothing's bolted up on that yet, but it's on. Still waiting for the wheel to dry. Let me just spin you around the workshop. The wheel is drying there, and I've also sanded and painted the old foot peg hangers for the back, so they're drying. That's silver hammerite, which is pretty robust, but it takes a long time to dry. Hammerite does, so it's been sitting there in the sunshine. And if I bring you over to the bench where there's a tin of brake cleaner, these are the foot pegs that were on the back of it, and they are pretty manky. So I've got to decide if I want to do anything with those. To be honest, what's in there? Oh, rubber. I think I'm just going to leave them off because it's a 125. You never take anyone on the back, so no need for it. No need. Right, so I think what I'm going to do now, let me just walk around with wobbly handy cam. If I step back a bit. Okay, I'm in a bit of a mess here, right? There's all grease on the floor and all the old chain and sprockets and things like that. I think I need to clean all that up. And then, if I put the centre stand down, like that, you see how it's below the main beam on the stand? I think the bike will stand on its front wheel and centre stand on the floor here once I've cleaned it, which means I can then swap out the footrests, and that gets that job done. Then I can bolt it back on the stand and put the stand back on the stand and get it back up in the air. So that's a job to do. But before I do that, what I need to do is, if I take you down here, I might have to put some light on for this. Does that work? Yeah. So you can see there, that is the side stand switch. Now the side stand switch has to be moved from this one to the new one, so I need to take that off, get that out of the way and cleaned, because it's all gunged up with chain oil and stuff like that. So I'll do that, get all the bolts loose, get it on the floor, get it on the centre stand, and then I should be able to swap that out. I'll also at some point change that sprocket for the new one, which is in the box down there with a nice shiny gold chain. So that's the status. I'll I don't know if I'll do that in this video or whether I'll do it in the next one. If some music suddenly appears, I'm doing it in this one. If not, then it'll be in the next installment. You may also wonder as well, you'll see my pot of grease there, right? You'll notice that some things I've greased as I've put them in, and some things I've copper slipped. And you might be thinking to yourself, why is that? Well, anything that moves, you put grease on. Anything that doesn't move, like these bolts, you put copper slip on. Them's the rules, just in case anyone was wondering. Right, so it'll be a surprise to me and you if the music kicks in and we have a bit of a montage next. Let's see. Okay, so bike's now down on the ground on its centre stand. That's working great. It's on a couple of bits of wood, a little bit precarious, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I've kind of cleaned the floor a bit because it was swimming in WD-40. So next job, 2 bolts go through the foot peg hangers. One is an engine mount and another one is bolted from either side. So I've got 2 bolts either side and then one which is a pin that goes all the way through the engine mount. That's got to come out. That will then come off. I can unbolt it from the stand now. That should be okay. So I'll get that changed. Mustn't forget the side stand switch as well. I'll get that changed while it's on the floor. Hopefully at some point the back wheel will be dry enough to put a tyre on it. I'll get the tyre on, and then we'll get it up in the end of the front end, and the clocks, and the ignition barrel, and handlebars, and mirrors, and levers, headlamp, forks. I'm going to paint the front wheel as well, new tyre for the front. So quite a lot to do on the front end, but most of it is putting all new parts on because it got absolutely smashed up. The back end is the one that required a bit of restoration. So front end should go faster. However, it's getting late in the day. My dog needs a walk, so I'm going to walk my dog now. I'm going to leave this. And good top tip actually, if you're working on a bike, always leave the shed at some point where you know exactly what you're going to do next. And I know exactly what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do these. All right, so when I come back in, I haven't got to scratch my head, get all scared, procrastinate, and then leave it. So yeah, top tip. Thanks for watching, appreciate it. See you again shortly when I take that out. Thanks.